Why does this matter so much to me? It's because I know what it is like to have something and then to lose it. And I don't want Britain to lose what it has. I grew up in a poor country, and I watched my relatively wealthy family become poorer and poorer and poorer, despite working harder and harder as their money disappeared with inflation. I came back to the UK, age 16, with my father's last £100 in the hope of a better life. So I have lived with the consequences of terrible governments that destroy lives, and I never, ever want that to happen here.
She doesn't want what is happening in Nigeria to happen in the United Kingdom. This is Kemi Badenoch, the UK Conservative Party leader. She's back again. As a Nigerian, she has chosen to stay on the side of truth, even though many people hate her for speaking out, for speaking up for Nigerians, for exposing the rot that is happening in Nigeria. But she has chosen to be adamant, even when the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria came out to berate her for speaking her mind, for speaking the truth. She is not letting go of whatever that is happening in Nigeria. Probably we should think more and have a deeper reflection of why Kemi has chosen to be exposing the rot in Nigeria. Maybe what is happening in Nigeria has affected her more than it has affected people living in Nigeria. Or maybe people in Nigeria do not really realize the inherent danger that is facing them in living in a country that do not think about their growth and progress, a country that is stagnating their growth, a country that is retarding and reducing their purchasing power. Maybe the people that are outside the country, the people in the diaspora that have experienced a working economy, a working country, they are the ones that understand the depth of decadence that Nigeria is currently experiencing right now. Of course, someone like me that understand history, that understand past antecedent, understand that Nigeria has gone to the wolves, understand that Nigeria has retrogressed so badly. Kemi Badenoch is simply telling everyone that Nigeria is a dream killer. Kemi Badenoch is simply telling everyone that Nigeria is destroying life. Nigeria is destroying the life of her citizen, and she doesn't want that to happen to United Kingdom. She is a Nigerian. She lived part of her life in Nigeria. She ran away from Nigeria when she experienced the cruelty that the police did to her brother. According to her, she said the police stole her brother's shoe and watch. She saw how corruption was thriving in our political space, how our politicians are living in affluence, but the people are living in penury. She ran away from Nigeria to the United Kingdom with her father's last £100. The last £100 of her father has made her who she is today. She is now the UK Conservative leader. The political feat that Kemi Badenoch has achieved as a Nigerian UK citizen is such that she will never achieve as a Nigerian living in Nigeria. Kemi Badenoch is one out of the millions of Nigerians that have left the shore of this country to another country, and they've rediscovered themselves and achieved their dreams and purpose in life. You know, a country that killed dreams, when you leave that country to another country and within 2 years you achieve something you were unable to achieve all your life while living in your own country. That is the definition of a dream killer. Before you come up to criticize Kemi Badenoch for what she has said so far, ask yourself a very important question. Has your life progressed so far as a Nigerian? Is your life progressing so far as a Nigerian? Compare where you were 10 years ago and where you are today. Is there really progress? Have you progressed or you have retrogressed? That is the question you should ask yourself before you start thinking of criticizing her or applauding her. Kemi Badenoch do not want Nigeria to happen to the United Kingdom, the same way most Nigerians don't want Nigeria to happen to them. Kemi Badenoch's statement about her experiences growing up in Nigeria and her fears for the UK's future provides a powerful warning about the consequence of poor governance and economic mismanagement. The difference between the United Kingdom and Nigeria is leadership. While the UK is experiencing a functional and stable leadership that has led to the progress and stability of the United Kingdom, Nigeria is experiencing unstable, inept, corrupt and bad leadership that has led to the retrogression of Nigeria and the Nigerian people. Kemi Badenoch's statement reflects a deep understanding of how bad policies can destroy life and nations. Kemi Badenoch watched her relative wealthy family lose financial stability despite working harder. She fears that Britain could suffer a similar fate if it follows the wrong path. Bad policies from bad leaders have ruined this nation's life. For instance, in 2014, Nigeria was the biggest economy in Africa with $500 billion GDP. The election that happened in 2015 that ushered in President Muhammadu Buhari destroyed this country's life. President Muhammadu Buhari came with his policies that destroy our economy. President Muhammadu Buhari, after his 8 years tenure has elapsed, passed on the baton of inept leadership to Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Bola Ahmed Tinubu came with his policies of taxation and the removal of fuel subsidy. From having Nigeria being the third fastest growing economy in the world in 2014 and the biggest economy in Africa, Nigeria has now moved from being a $500 billion economy, which made her to be the biggest economy in Africa, to a $199 billion economy, and Nigeria is sitting prettily in number 5 position in Africa. And this has also led to Nigerians becoming poorer, as the over 9 years of APC misrule has led to over 80 million of Nigerians and counting being thrown into poverty. Kemi Badenoch do not want this to happen to the UK and the UK citizen. The UK has one of the world's most developed economies, and it is supported by strong institutions, a well-regulated financial system, and stable economic policies. The Bank of England plays a crucial role in controlling inflation, ensuring that economic shocks are managed effectively. While the UK face economic challenges such as inflation, high living costs, and occasional recession, its structured economy allows for adjustment and recovery. The UK has a diversified economy and is spanned from finance, technology, manufacturing, and service provision. Even in tough times, the government implements policies to support businesses and individuals through subsidies, tax relief, and welfare program. But what is happening in Nigeria, Kemi Badenoch home country? Nigeria has struggled with economic instability for decades. Despite having a population of over 220 million people, vast human and natural resources, Nigeria is facing chronic challenges such as over-reliance on oil revenue, currency devaluation, and policy inconsistency. Nigerian government focus more on oil exploration and exportation while leaving other sectors to die. Corruption and mismanagement have hindered economic progress, with successive governments failing to implement long-term strategies for growth. Nigeria inflation, which has reached over 150%, is causing the price of basic goods to rise beyond the reach of many citizens. Foreign investors frequently pull out due to uncertainty, and businesses struggle with multiple taxation and inadequate infrastructure. Interest rate is high, which has led to the death of small and upcoming businesses. Many Nigerians are scared of what is happening in Nigeria. They don't want it to happen to them. The same way Kemi Badenoch do not want Nigeria to happen in the UK. Kemi Badenoch fears that if the UK adopt reckless economic policies such as uncontrolled borrowing, high taxation, she could experience financial decline similar to what Kemi Badenoch experienced in Nigeria. Kemi Badenoch saw her family wealth eroded not because they were lazy, but because inflation and mismanagement rendered their hard-earned money worthless. Kemi Badenoch is warning the United Kingdom not to take cue from the style of government that Nigeria is operating. The UK operates under a parliamentary democracy with checks and balance that ensure the government remains accountable. We know that scandals occur, but the system allows for scrutiny by the opposition, independent media, and regulatory bodies. The judiciary is relatively independent, and citizens have legal avenues to challenge government decisions. You and I know that this kind of thing will never happen in Nigeria. As it stands now, APC, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is the Lord and Savior of Nigeria. They do whatever they want to do and they go scot-free with it, with nobody challenging them. Even the judiciary is under their control. Nigerian government structure has been plagued by corruption. We have weak institutions and lack of accountability. Most of our politicians prioritize personal enrichment over national development. Nigerian government decisions are often influenced by vested interests. Look at what Tinubu did to Landmark Group. Destroy over $200 million worth of business because of vested interests that he wants to build a coastal road project. This can never happen in the United Kingdom, because even if the government decide to destroy that business, the court, the judiciary will stand their ground and overrule the government decision to destroy a over $200 million business. Here in Nigeria, our judiciary do not play by the book. They play by the books of the politician. The judiciary has been accused of being compromised, and law enforcement agencies sometimes serve political rather than public interest. There is no accountability in the Nigerian leadership structure. The lack of accountability in Nigeria has led to poor policy making, as leaders are rarely held responsible for failed policies. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu came and shut down Nigerian border, which led to the skyrocketing of food price in the market. Bola Ahmed Tinubu came and removed fuel subsidy that has led to higher inflation and making Nigerians poorer. They are doing all of this because nobody is holding them accountable for their failed policies. President Muhammadu Buhari spent billions of Nigerian taxpayer money exploring oil in Bauchi State, northern Nigeria. Till date, not one single drop of oil has been exported out of Bauchi State. The same Buhari government spent billions in trying to get Nigerian air to fly. That project has become a forgotten project. Infrastructure projects are abandoned. Public funds are mismanaged, and citizens are left to suffer the consequences because our leaders lack accountability. Nobody holds them responsible for any failed project, any failed promises, or any failed tenure. After 8 years of colossal failure, President Muhammadu Buhari simply retired to Daura and is living a life of happiness, while Nigerians are going through the pain, the brunt of his bad government. Bola Ahmed Tinubu will do the same, and he will soon retire, and Nigerians will suffer the consequences of his bad and inept leadership. Kemi Badenoch worries that if Britain weakens its institutions, allow unchecked government spending, or disregard transparency, it could follow Nigerians' path. She has seen firsthand how corruption and poor leadership can ruin a country, and she wants to ensure that the UK remains a place where governance is transparent, accountable, and citizens focus. The UK has experienced inflationary pressures, particularly in recent years, but it has mechanisms to mitigate the impact. The Bank of England adjusts interest rates, the government provides targeted support for struggling families, and long-term policies aim to balance economic growth and price stability. Despite cost of living challenges, the UK social safety nets such as unemployment benefits, pension and subsidies help protect vulnerable population. But here in Nigeria, this is a tall dream. Nigeria's inflation crisis has eroded the purchasing power of millions of Nigerians. Food prices skyrocket frequently, salaries remain stagnant, and the cost of living becomes unbearable. Essential goods such as fuel and electricity have become unaffordable due to government mismanagement and bad leadership. One of the UK's greatest strengths is ability to provide opportunities. Education, job creation, and entrepreneurship allow people from diverse backgrounds to improve their life. Government programs support startup, and the legal framework protects workers' rights. In Nigeria, that is a tall dream. Opportunities for advancement are limited to many people. Education has become expensive and offers some standard. Job opportunities are scarce, and many young Nigerians seek opportunities abroad due to frustration with the system. Young businesses are dying in their numbers. Again, before you criticize Kemi Badenoch's statement, ask yourself a very important question. Has your life progressed in the past 9 years since APC took over power, or has your life retrogressed? Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.